mind, most business coaches will give you the exact same advice. If you want to scale a one-to-one coaching offer, you have two options. Option A, you either switch to a group coaching model so that your clients get less access to you, but you ultimately end up diluting your service. Or option B, you hire success coaches, sub-coaches, and you delegate the delivery to them so your clients get less access to you, but you dilute your service. Well, I decided to do neither of those things. And in the last year alone, I've managed to work with over 150 one-to-one coaching clients, all on under 4 hours of delivery per week. 4 hours. The reason I've been able to do that, the reason it's even possible, is because my clients stopped booking in one-to-one calls with me. They essentially ghosted me. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I've managed to stop my clients booking in calls with me every single week whilst they get the best results they've ever got, and how it's an intentional model that you can use in your coaching business to work with more clients at scale without diluting your service and without burning out. So let's dive into the office. I'll show you how this delivery model works. I call it the one-to-one access stack, and I think you're going to absolutely love it.
Okay, mate, so before I talk about how the one-to-one access stack actually works, I want to talk about why the current model that most coaching businesses are using right now is essentially capping their business's growth. And I know this because I ran it myself. When I was doing fixed weekly calls with every single client, I remember this feeling starting to creep in as things got busy. It's this looming, suffocating feeling of being absolutely capped. Like the ceiling was getting lower and lower the more clients I took on. And there was this saying that I always came back to, which is you can't grow into pain. When your calendar is already rammed with client calls every single week, signing up a new client didn't feel like a win anymore. It felt like I was being punished. So what happens is you subconsciously start to pull back. You stop pushing your marketing as hard as you know you should. You don't post the content, you don't make the offer, because somewhere in the back of your mind, you know that if it works, if people actually say yes, you're just making your own life harder. So the business plateaus, not because you're not good enough, not because it isn't working, but because the model has a really low ceiling and you're probably already really close to that ceiling, if not hitting it. So the obvious solution, the one that gets thrown around everywhere in this space, in the coaching space, in the online info space, is to hire sub-coaches, hire success managers, delegate the delivery, free up your calendar so that you can scale the thing, right? And that's exactly what I did. And what I found is that instead of spending my time doing the thing that I actually love, which is getting results for my clients, helping people have unlocks and breakthroughs, I was actually just spending my time managing people, constantly putting out fires, chasing things that should have been done, that hadn't been done. And the whole time I have this nagging feeling in the back of my mind that my clients aren't getting the same experience they would get if they were working directly with me, which, if I'm being honest, they weren't. So here's the thing, your clients signed up for you. They signed up for your knowledge, your experience, your judgment. And the moment that you hand that off to somebody else, something gets diluted. Your clients know that they aren't getting the full experience. They can't quite put their finger on what's missing, but something is absolutely missing. So there are two obvious solutions or options on the table. You either do option number one, which is fixed weekly calls, which ultimately caps your growth and means that you can't scale past a certain amount of clients. Or option two is you hire sub-coaches, which frees up your time, but costs the thing that made your product worth buying in the first place. But the cool thing is that there is a third option. And the third option is what I want to speak about today. So to give some context as to how I came across this third option, a while back I was scrolling YouTube and I came across a creator called William Brown. You've probably heard of him. And he was talking about what he called his unscalable consulting offer. And he said something that really stuck with me. He said, something weird happens when you give your clients completely open access to you. They actually crave it less. And my immediate reaction was, mate, there is absolutely no way that that is true. Because if you think about it from the outside, if you tell your clients, look, my calendar is open, book in whenever you need me, your brain immediately goes to the worst case scenario. You're going to be swamped. Every client is going to be booking calls every single week. You're going to trap yourself into something that's even worse than it was before. And that was my genuine fear before I made the switch. I thought I was going to be absolutely snowed under with client calls. But what actually happened, within a couple of weeks of opening my calendar, my clients stopped booking in calls. Not because they didn't need support, because they were getting more support than they'd ever got before, but because a call isn't a scarce, fixed, novel thing in the diary. It stops feeling like they need to use it. right? The urgency disappears. Instead of waiting for their weekly slot to ask me something, my clients were just firing questions to me in Slack and getting answers immediately. The call becomes a last resort. So something that we jump on only when it was genuinely needed, not because it was your time to book in a call. And what I realized was that the fixed weekly call model had been creating a false sense of need this whole time. Clients were booking in calls because they thought they had to, not because they needed to. And because I'd created a cadence where it was like, we have a call once a week or a call once a month or whatever the cadence was at that time, I was spending hours every single week having conversations that didn't need to happen with clients who were actually doing fine, with clients who were genuinely moving forwards and making great progress towards their goals. So it makes zero sense when you say it out loud, but actually most coaching businesses are being run right now with this fixed call cadence. So I want you to really sit with this. Opening your calendar doesn't actually trap you. The fixed weekly call model is what is trapping you. The one-to-one access stack is just what makes that obvious. So let me explain how the one-to-one access stack actually works, because it's a lot simpler than it actually sounds. So as a coach, you have a whole range of tools available to you to communicate with your clients and get them a result. You can send them a text message, you can send a voice note, a Loom video, a phone call, you can do a Zoom call, you can even meet them in person. Now, as you go up that list, the tools become more and more effective. Like if I can speak to someone in person for a couple of hours, we're going to get incredible work done. It's the best work that we could possibly do. But they also become less scalable as we move up that list. A Zoom call is powerful, but it costs both of us an hour. A voice note can take you 60 seconds to send, but it solves the exact same problem. So the one-to-one access stack is simply the idea that it's your job as the coach to choose the right tool at the right time for each client based on what they actually need in that moment. Not based on what's in the diary, not based on a fixed cadence that applies to every single client, regardless of where they're at, but based on genuine need. So when a client is flying, making great progress, ticking every box, a quick voice note checking in is all they need. When a client is stuck, like genuinely struggling, that's when you pick up the phone or jump on a Zoom call immediately, not when their next call is booked in. So that's it. Every client gets the support they need when they need it at the appropriate level, nothing more, nothing less.
Dude, if this video has resonated with you and you've enjoyed it, but you want to go deeper on my entire business model, the client ecosystem, the marketing, the sales, the delivery, then I've got a completely free community housed in the school, and I've linked it in the description below this video. Please come and join us. It's completely free. Tons of valuable free resources in there for you. I'll drop you a message on the inside to introduce myself and all the normal stuff. If you've enjoyed this, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.